Hey lovelies, it's Ramona. Today we're going to be going over how you can get this eyeshadow look with the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It is right here. It is a great neutral palette with lots of pinkies. Oh my goodness, that was terrifying. Okay, here is the palette. Beautiful peachy pink shades with some darker tones. Let's get right into it. Follow along with me. So obviously I've gotten my face done already. I've gotten my foundation, concealer, powder, and I have done my brows. I just wanted to get those out of the way, that way we could focus on the eyes. So as I said, we're going to be going in with the Sweet Peach Too Faced palette. This is a great palette for beginners because it has a wide variety of shades. You can do some very soft pinky peach shades. There's also some darker colors to warm things up and smoke it out. So it's a really versatile palette, and I think it would be a great one if you were just getting into makeup, learning how to blend and learning how to do different types of looks. You can see over here we've got our lighter shades or pinkier shades, and then we're warming up over into the dark side over here. I thought that it would be a good idea to go over the colors that we're going to be using in the eye look before we start. That way you have a good idea and you're more prepared, and you also have the opportunity to try to match or mimic the eyeshadows if you don't have this exact palette. So the very first shade that we're using is this shade right here, and it is called Georgia. It is a nice neutral pinky shade, and it's going to be for our transition color build up right in the crease and all over kind of up the lid. That's going to be our starting shade. From there we're going to move on to this pinky peach glittery shade called Candied Peach, and that's going to deepen our crease color and help build up more color. From there we're going to move into the Summer Yum color right here, and that is a brownie shade. It's going to deepen our corners right here, start dragging it underneath our eyes. And then for our darker shade, we're going into this darker brown up here, and that is called Charmed, I'm sure, and it's going to be the darkest point of our eye, and we're going to drag it some more underneath the lid. For the upper lid over here by the corner, we're going to be using some shimmers, and those two are going to be this color right here named Bellini. It is just a shimmery peach pinky color, and then we're going to be using this color right here, just peachy, which is a goldeny peach pink shimmer color. And the brushes that we're going to be using today are just a lot of fluffy brushes, honestly. We're using two different Morphe M441 brushes and then one Morphe M513 brushes. And these are just fluffy brushes going to be used for blending. We're also going to be using some short, dense detail brushes. That way you can get into the creases. And I have a Morphe M169 and a Morphe E118 for this. And then we're also going to need some brushes for the shimmer and packing on color. So I have two of those. I just have some flat bristle brushes right here, and there I have the Morphe M166, and then a just small cream shadow brush that I use for most of my shimmers, and they are just flat bristles. They are the best for packing on color and shimmers. And then just one more brush. This isn't necessary. You can reuse one of the other brushes if you clean it off. This one is a small detail brush in the Morphe M213, and it is just going to be for putting the highlight on the inner corner of our eye. So now that we have an idea of what the brushes we are using are going to be, let's zoom in and I will show you how to do this eye. Alright, so we're up close and personal now. I have already primed my eyelids when I was doing my base, so that is ready to go. If you don't know what I use, I usually do grab the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, and then I just set that with translucent powder on top of it so that we are working with a smooth base. So I'm going in with the shade Georgia, that first light pink shade that we talked about, getting it on a blending brush, and I'm going to start putting it all over my lid and my crease, starting to get a transition color for the build-up. And this color is a very great starter color because there's not a lot to it. You can really get an idea of where we're going to start putting color without being too dramatic right up front, which is what any good transition color should be. You shouldn't be shocked when you put a transition color on your eye for the first time. It should be very natural looking and very soft. So we're just using windshield wiper motions to get this on and good and blended. And now I'm going to do the other eye real quick. So this is after the first step with just the color Georgia on our lids. Not a whole lot of oomph yet, but we're getting there. So now I'm going to go in with that shade Candied Peach, and it is the pink peachy glitter shade right here. Again, just getting one of my fluffy blending brushes. This is a Morphe M441, gathering it on, and you're going to see immediately when you touch this to your eyelid how it deepens up that color without being too dark just yet. So you're going to touch it in your corner first and then bring it out very softly. And see how gorgeous that color is. It's just got a little bit of warmth to it, peachy tones. It's very pretty and it makes for a very natural looking eye. Make sure to get it in your outer V over here. And now for the other eye. Alright, so these are your eyes after the color Candied Peach has been applied. I'm also going to take that same brush and a little bit of the residual that's left on there, start dragging it underneath my eyes. That way we are starting to smoke out the look without getting too dramatic right away. So as you can see, that didn't create too much of a color underneath here. We are just starting to build our transition for the smoky eye. So I'm going to take our last clean fluffy brush that we're using and go in with the color Summer Yum, and I'm going to be deepening up the crease and creating that gradient for the darker colors. Starting in the corner just softly, I'm not blending it out into the crease just yet. I really want to get some dark color going here in the corner. Now we can start circling it and blending it. You can see how that adds just a little bit of depth right in here in the corner. And then drag it down a little bit below. And here is Summer Yum finished. Alright, now we're going to be doing some of our darker work right in the corner of our eye. For that, we're going to take one of our smaller detail brush. I am using a pencil brush, an M169 by Morphe, and I'm getting that last darkest shade, that Charmed, I'm sure, right up here at the top. And just getting a small amount on our brush. The thing to remember with dark colors is you can't take away, so you always want to start with less, build up to more as you go if you need more. If you start off with a lot on your brush right away, there's nowhere for the product to go but all over your eye. It won't blend out as well, and it's really going to be a harsh darkness where you're trying to create a soft gradient. So just a little bit on the brush, and you can see the color does not overwhelm anything at first. We're just going to very softly blend that. I'm going to grab a little bit more because that wasn't quite enough, which is the way you should do it. And I am just tapping it all around in the corner, swirling it, very soft, controlled motions. And then I'm going to drag it underneath. So you can see the difference in the depth of the two eyes with this dark color added. You can see that one has a lot more drama to it than the other one, and that's what dark colors do for your eyes. If you're going for a smoky look, the darker the corner color, the more dramatic you're gonna be. And this is the final look for both eyes after the darkest color, Charmed, I'm sure, has been applied. We're gonna go in with some of our shimmers, and then we're going to touch up where we need to see it touched up. Alright, so I'm going to be taking one of my flat bristle brushes, the M166 from Morphe, and it is just great for packing on shimmers and colors. I'm going to be taking that first shimmer shade Bellini right here in the middle. And for this one, I'm not going to wet my brush because I don't want the shimmer to be too intense on this color. It's going to be a base shimmer. I'm going to be adding an accent shimmer in a second. So I'm just going to grab some on my dry brush and pat it on. And you can see that that's a very soft shimmer and a soft color. Since we did not wet the brush, it is not going to be too intense, but with a really good quality eyeshadow, you can do this. If it's not quite such a good quality, if it is a little bit more powdery, shimmers tend to not go on so well dry. You do usually need a wet brush with setting spray or Fix Plus or water or something like that. But since Too Faced is such a quality brand and this is such a quality palette, this is going to go on fine with the dry brush. So So these are the eyes finished after the color Bellini has been applied with a dry brush. I'm going to be going in now with the Pinky Shimmer shade, Just Peachy, and it is the one right at the top up here that we went over. And for that, I'm going to be taking my small cream shadow brush. It is just a very small, dense, flat bristled brush. I'm going to be spraying some of my fix on it. And I'm going to pick up on the brush and just pack it right towards the edge where I want some accent. And you can see how it's changed the shimmer just a little bit where it's laid down. I'm not going for anything too dramatic with this look, so this is a great color for highlighting some shimmer. There's not just too much oomph to it, so you're not overpowering the other things that you have done. And that is the eyes finished after Just Peachy has been applied, our last shimmer shade. Now for our last step on shadows, I am going to go in and smoke out the bottom line just a little bit more with the brushes that we have already used. I'm going to skip the color Georgia since it is the lightest and just go in with the color Candied Peach first. And again, that is that peachy glitter shade. And I'm not too focused on this being too precise of a blown out smoky eye. I just want to get some color underneath. And we can clean it up a little bit later with a beauty blender. I'm back in with the color Summer Yum on that same blending brush. Man, my voice just went somewhere else completely. And then lastly on that under eye. And then lastly on the under eye lash line, I'm going to take that same small pencil brush that we used, Charmed, I'm sure. And I'm going to just get a little bit and drag it underneath the eye. It's almost going to act like a smoked out eyeliner. And I'm going to clean up underneath my eyes. Any of the fallout. Check and see if I need to do any touch-ups. And then for the last step on the inner corner of the eyelids, I am going to go in with the whitest shade. We did not go over this one, I'm sorry, but it is this type 1, this white peach. And it is just a nice semi-shimmery, more of a satin white color that's going to highlight the inner eye very well. Kind of blend up just a little bit. And you can see how that really brightens this eye versus this eye. I'm also going to take just a little bit of that color and highlight my inner brow bone, just with that same detail brush. I think highlights on the eyes are so important because they just really make a look feel pulled together and just complete. The inner eye highlighter right here really makes your eyes look open. The highlighter on your brow bone makes your eyes look wide. It just all pulls it together for a really great look. Now we're going to be moving on to eyeliner. For the bottom lash line, I am going to go in with the NYX retractable pencil, and I'm just going to go over my inner waterline. I didn't want a black. I felt like that would be too harsh for this look since it is more soft and natural colors, peaches and browns. I just want to go in that waterline and darken it up just a tad. So that is my waterline done. And for me, I'm not a big fan of tight lining on most looks because I do have hooded eyes, and that means that not a lot of my lid is visible when I look straight on. If you can see, a lot of my lid does disappear whenever I let my eyebrows relax and my face relax. And because of that, I don't like too much tight lining because you do tend to lose a lot of the detail that you've worked on your lid line. So I'm not going to tight line this look today. I am going to add some mascara though to finish it off. And the lashes are done. For my lashes, I did use the Maybelline Falsies. It is one of my favorites right now. I grab it all the time. Alright, so now I'm going to be finishing off my face. I'm going to go in and do my contour, blush, highlight, and lips. I do feel like going with softer colors on this look because the eyes just feel very feminine and soft and pretty for me. I'm not usually one for pinks and peaches, but I do really love this look and this palette, so I'm gonna go very girly today with my colors, and I will be right back. You can see how well that the eyeshadow goes with the other soft feminine colors that I've paired it with. A Milani lipstick in the color Naked, MAC's blush in the color Blush Baby, and a highlighter by MAC as well in the color Soft and Gentle. Nothing too harsh lines, not too much drama in the eyes. I just wanted a good everyday feminine look, and I think that I have achieved it. I had a lot of fun filming this video today and recreating this gorgeous look. If y'all were able to follow along and create a look of your own, go ahead and hit the like button down below. That way that I know, and subscribe while you're at it. Also hit the notification bell because I do upload content at least once a week, sometimes more, and that way you're notified whenever there's something new and exciting for y'all to watch. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Bye!